Will it be the season to be jolly? Well, let's take a look at that as we anticipate the South African Reserve Bank to make an announcement on whether it will hold or raise interest rates. We take a look at South Africa's food inflation with the economic justices, Mervyn Abrahams, the Pietermaritzburg Economic Justice and Dignity Group on that. Thank you very much, sir, for availing yourself this afternoon. Maybe let's start with your expectations.
So it's really very, very difficult to say what the Reserve Bank is going to do. Our hope, of course, is that the Reserve Bank will keep interest rates at its present rate, but we have seen perhaps the largest inflationary increase since January over the last month, and that might consider some of the members of the Monetary Committee to want to increase interest rates. But we're hoping that that will not happen.
Sure. I guess we are speaking about food prices this afternoon, but we all know food prices, right? Maybe would it be helpful to help our viewers understand how do you navigate it, right? So how do I make sure I get a bang for my buck?
So what we have seen, we've seen food prices, according to our index, increase by just over 10% over the last year. So if I could just mention to you some of the levels of increases we've seen. So for instance, on a basic food like rice, we've seen the price of rice increase by something like 22% over the last year. We have seen the price of eggs increased by something like 36%. We've seen potato prices increase by 102%. And even though maize prices have come down over the last month, it still is about 7% higher than it was a year ago. So food price inflation remains very high. It's the main contributor to the general inflation in South Africa, headline inflation. So what we are saying is that we do not expect the prices to decline by any significant means over the next 3 months. And so consumers need to be very careful as to how they buy and what they buy. One of the tips would be decide before you go to the store what meals you're going to eat that week and write up a list and only buy those things in the store and don't even look at anything else because the prices are just escalating and it will continue to escalate over the festive season.
Mr. Abrahams, how much more careful can some South Africans be, right? So if you take a look at the tips that you mentioned, I'm not sure how or what the perceptions were when you were growing up or what you've observed as an adult, but when the trolley is full, it's seen as a sign of opulence or a sign of affordability, but it could be various things. And when the trolley is not that full, it's seen as a sign of tough times, but that too is not necessarily what it seems. And so when you speak of buy what you need, where can you go to buy what you need? Would you suggest that you go around checking prices to see if this group's prices are higher or much lower than this group's prices?
Yes, so I would really suggest that people shop around for the best prices they can get. And I would also appeal to us to make a kind of a shift, a mind shift, particularly for those in the middle class, that we can buy our fresh vegetables at the informal trader. We don't have to buy it in Hulbers. We don't have to buy it in any of these big retail stores. We can go to the informal traders because there you can buy really what you need. They will sell you 5 tomatoes if that's all you need. They will sell you 3 potatoes if that is all you need. And in fact, what you're doing is you're putting money into the informal economy, which is really where most of South Africa's poorest people are living at the moment.
Mr. Abrahams, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Mervyn Abrahams is with the Pietermaritzburg Economic Justice and Dignity Group.